Hi, everyone. My name is Paul Devine. I'm the high school minister at St. John 23rd. We'd like to just say thank you so much for continuing to be with us, continuing to support us. We love you. Our hearts hurt from not being able to see you face to face, and we can't wait until we get to do that. We want to dive in right now to the gospel. It's a pretty quick one. It's in the middle of John 15, and it's a continuation of something that we've been listening to for this whole week. So, John 15, verses 18 through 21. If the world hates you, realize that it hated me first. If you belong to the world would love its own. But because you do not belong to the world, and I have chosen you out of the world hates you. Remember the word I spoke to you. No slave is greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they kept my word, they will also keep yours, and they will do all these things to you on account of my name, because they do not know the one who sent me. It's a pretty dire gospel message, I feel. Today we're hearing a warning from Jesus, and it's about persecution in a world that hates Jesus, his message, his followers. And that's us. And it follows right after yesterday's gospel when Jesus gives a little bit of a better message. He gives a direct commandment to us to love one another as I love you. And he says another familiar line, no one has greater love than this, than to lay down one's life for one's friends. I think a great question after yesterday's gospel is to simply ask Jesus, why is this such an important commandment? And why are you telling me to lay down my life? I wish I had almost been there, because knowing myself, I totally would have interrupted him before he could continue to talk about it. I just would have been like, wait a minute, Jesus. What's this like laying down of a life? I mean, is this like an expectation? Are we going to have some opportunities to do this? Is this sort of like if we must type situation, like just in defense? So thankfully I wasn't there, because he follows right up with the answer. Why is it important to love your neighbor as yourself? Why are we supposed to lay down our lives? Because we are going to be persecuted, because the world hates and fears what Jesus can do. Because the word gospel does mean good news, but it makes people change. And change is different and simply hard. And people fear change and hard things. And so in the middle of persecution and hatred, Jesus knows that we sort of need like a little bit of a warming up and some instruction, because without it, some of us might find it difficult to understand, what is this all about? Why does the world dislike this message so much? Why are we struggling to spread the good news so much? Why is it so hard to tell people about the love of Christ sometimes? And he lets us know that the way through this is two things. Number one, yesterday's message, to love each other. When we love each other in the way that Jesus loves us, it inspires. It by itself becomes a witness. And it helps to convince others of sort of the authenticity of Christ. We are reminded of a heavenly truth. Nothing makes us feel more right than when we are loved the way Jesus loves us, right? And when we lay down our life, not for ourselves, but for others, people now know that they're not just messing with some sort of fad or a philosophy that sort of crumbles at the slightest hardship. They begin to take that message as serious as the messengers did, which is powerful. And the second thing is something that Jesus says both yesterday and today. I have chosen you. Ooh, that is a great line. How comforting to know that we have not fallen into this faith by accident. Yes, it means because we are meant to spread the good news, it means that there's going to be hardships and there's going to be persecutions. And hardships are just that. They are hard. But what a great thing to know. It and we have a purpose. There is a destination for this journey that we're on. We are going somewhere. And when we know that, everything becomes so much more meaningful and easier to accept. Not necessarily just easy to handle, but we can accept it with some peace. And we begin to have a little more mercy for the people on the other side. As we end this week, I think a good question to reflect on for ourselves is like, how have we reacted to injustices done to us recently? Do we have trouble understanding them? Do we recognize our destination? And I think more importantly, how can we begin to specifically act upon Jesus' commandment to love as he did? We love you guys. We miss you guys. And we're praying for you. Thanks. Bye.